Hey everyone, my name is Chris Lambert, and this is another Kanye West video. We're going to be talking about Kanye and the Met Gala, as, of course, Kanye is stirring up all kinds of controversy over his outfit. And you may be looking at that picture and be thinking, that outfit? What is possibly controversial about that outfit? Yeah, and we'll get into that, why people are upset about it. But first, we're going to look at what the outfit is and then get into the rest. So you can see that the title of this article, you'll never guess how much it's going to cost. And it's because it's just a Dickies jacket. It's just a zip up. The easy to replicate jacket is called the Eisenhower and is inspired by General Dwight D. Eisenhower. And it only costs $43. That's right. Kanye wore a $43 jacket to one of the biggest fashion events of the entire year, where Kim talked about her dress taking 8 months for the designer to create specifically for this event. Kanye threw on a less than $50 jacket. So you can imagine some of the uproar there, but the jacket looks pretty nice, right? Dickies, here's the jacket in case you want to buy it. $43, you can see. And Dickies, you can see some of the other clothes. They make clothes for workers, professionals, whether that's coveralls or something a bit more officey, like these khakis, slacks, work pants, men and women's clothing. So they're a very blue collar brand, and you can see some of the history here. These two guys are the founders. If only those hats were still in fashion, I'd be wearing one every video, being like, hello, welcome. And then some of the ads for Dickies, and just, it's been a brand for the worker for a long, long time. But Kanye has actually talked about them before. You can see this post from Team Kanye Daily. When Kanye was doing a interview with Power 92, he talked about, look at me, goddamn, I look good. This Dickies with some Yeezy boots. So Kanye earlier in the year was already rocking Dickies as kind of this brand that was underutilized in fashion. And it started to become more of a thing. Celebrities are obsessed with these $30 pants. And it's A$AP Rocky, Justin Bieber, and Kourtney Kardashian, all who have some kind of relationship with Kanye, mind you. But Kourtney talks about that thanks to Kanye West, even the Kardashians are on board. He's not shy about giving advice. He'll say, look, I love this. I like that. Kourtney Kardashian told People earlier this month on her fashion-conscious brother-in-law, I remember I was going to Paris for Fashion Week in the fall, and I was showing him my looks, and I had photos of the outfits I was going to wear, and he had me switch a couple things. I remember he was like, get those Dickies and wear Dickies instead. So now I got a bunch of Dickies after he said that. And Kanye also, as GQ takes time to load. No. This is what happens when you have a bazillion tabs open. They just do this. Okay, there we go. This fall, grab a pair of work pants. Carhartt and Dickies are conquering the fashion world, all for under $30. So this was already a trend heading into the Met Gala. And of course, Kanye was talked about here as well, which I think is down here. And while everyone from Kanye West to Jonah Hill have been spotted wearing Carhartt, their canvas vests, Detroit jacket, and logo beanies have been particularly popular over the years. The work pants are starting to seep into the menswear scene. So we had that going on. So Kanye, we know, and he had been wearing Carhartt jackets and vests. He had been wearing Dickies pants, and now he has this Dickies jacket at the Met Gala. So this is one of the issues that people are having with Kanye's look. A lot of people are calling it just boring, bland, like what was he doing? And that's because the event was themed as camp, which after this we'll get into what the definition of camp is, but you'll get an idea of it just from some of the pictures, right? You can see Harry Styles wearing this outfit, right? Very bold. And camp, you can usually associate it with these over-the-top movies, right? Like, what's the famous one? Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? Taron Egerton, it just has a little bit of flair in the coat. not really campy. And then you get to Kim and Kanye. Maybe the best of pictures would have been better to show you for camp, but there were some really over-the-top ones. Like Jared Leto was carrying his own head while also wearing like an evening gown. Cara Delevingne was just wearing these colorful stripes. There were a lot of really cool outfits that went with the extravagance that camp can often have. And I have to admit, when I first saw it was camp, I thought the theme was actually camping. So I was confused because I thought nobody's attire actually looked right for a theme that was camping. But camp makes much more sense. But here's what this writer had to say about Kim and Kanye. And here you can see the full outfit, right? Dickies pants, I think, Dickies jacket, and then these Yeezy boots. Kimye walked the red carpet as a couple, and they're appearing on this worst dress list as a couple. It's difficult to say what's worse, Kim Kardashian's dress, which she described as 8 months in the making, yet did it care to adhere to the night's themes in any way? I think you can argue against that. Or Kanye West's tracksuit, a look that didn't even seem 10 minutes in the making, appearing instead like he forgot his suit in Calabasas and hit up a rag and bone on the way to the Met. Oh, such sharp and biting words. Speaking to E, Kardashian described the meticulous process that went into her dress, a custom Thierry Mugler creation that was inspired by a vintage picture of Sophia Loren, calling the look California girl stepping out of the ocean onto the red carpet, wet and dripping. Which I think you can see that, right? You have these beads, which end up being the water dripping down, and then a California girl, which is Kim, but she has kind of the wet hair, and the dress looks like a wet shirt in a way. And while the gown could have been a special choice for another occasion, Kardashian blatantly ignoring the camp theme was a missed opportunity for the star, whose entire persona can be linked to the artifice and exaggerated looks characterized by the theme. Meanwhile, Kanye wore one of the more boring red carpet looks of his career. And whether the choice was an elaborate comment on the event or just driven by laziness, it was a slight to the many men on the red carpet who actually cared to dress up Monday night, which is such like an overreaction. A slight to the many men on the red carpet. Kanye did his thing, they did their thing. Like Kanye had his comment and take on camp. Like, how's it a slight to any of them? Sometimes people just need to shut the fuck up. So here's the New York Times article, What is Camp? The Met Gala 2019 Theme Explained. And they use the basis of Susan Sontag, a writer that did some poetry but is often known for her essays, had this point about what camp was. An intentional over-the-topness, a slightly or extremely off quality, bad taste as a vehicle for good art. And this whole article gets into what is and isn't camp, just because it's hard to define, right? So dog shows, camp, Cher, camp, Donatella Versace, camp, Kathy Lee Gifford. My favorite one, and I think the one that's the easiest to understand, because some of these you're just like, really? That's supposed to be camp? Is just professional wrestling. Like, professional wrestling is 1000% camp. And they have the picture of the Ultimate Warrior there. Like, Ultimate Warrior just with the face paint and the ribbons and running up and down, shaking the ropes. Undertaker, yeah, wrestling is very much camp. But that's not the only thing that camp can be, right? Camp, Urban Dictionary has a great definition, which is just the dictionary.com definition. Something that provides sophisticated, knowing amusement, as by virtue of its being artlessly mannered or stylized, self-consciously artificial and extravagant, or teasingly ingenuous and sentimental. And ingenuous, lacking in cunning, guile, or worldliness, artless, openly straightforward or frank, candid. So there's something about Kanye's look that is ingenuous, right? It's just straightforward, simplistic, but given the nature of the event, that this is the Met Gala and so many people are going over the top, Kanye's look is camp, but it's camp in a very like low-key, based on the situation kind of way that people would expect him to go over the top. They would expect something grandiose, but instead he goes understated. Frank Ocean did the same exact thing, right? He didn't go this over-the-top route as other people did. You can see the dude behind him and that outfit, right? So this article by Sam Shub talks about it. Zigging when everyone zags. That's camp. At Monday night's Met Gala, the most famous people on the planet interpreted the night's themes, camp as in Susan Sontag, not summer, with varying degrees of success. Jared Leto carried his own head. Benedict Cumberbatch dressed like Tom Wolfe. For almost all the attendees, the work definition of camp seemed to be, as my colleague Cam Wolfe put it, the most absolutely batshit fashion imaginable. And now this page is frozen. Frozen. Except that is for Frank Ocean and Kanye West, who both wore incredibly boring outfits, and in the process nailed the theme better than almost anyone else in attendance. Ocean hit the pink carpet in quiet black and white shirt and black tie, black work pants, and black nylon Prada anorak over the top. Kanye, meanwhile, went even more minimal. Black Dickies jacket, black Dickies pants, black Yeezy combat boots, 2 outfits, 2 dour expressions, all of 2 colors. It's difficult to imagine 2 pink carpet looks less in line with the night's theme, right? Wrong. Consider this passage from Notes on Camp, Susan Sontag's off-sided, occasionally read essay on the concept. Camp is the attempt to do something extraordinary, but extraordinary in the sense often of being special, glamorous, not extraordinary merely in the sense of effort. Ripley's Believe It or Not items are rarely campy. In this reading, what could be more camp than an outfit extraordinary only in its ordinariness? Yeah. In a sea of outfits seemingly yanked from Ripley's, what's more striking than an outfit you can truly, definitely believe? If you wear all black workwear to the bar, you fit in. If you wear all black to the Met Gala, you're making a statement even louder than the one Katy Perry thinks she's making by wearing a chandelier. So, yeah. I think that's a pretty good counterpoint to everybody freaking out. Like, I get that the look could be boring or you expect more from Kanye, but I think with what we've seen of Kanye in 2018, where he's kind of killing the ego, going a bit more understated, getting back to, I don't know, being an everyman in some respects, just a look like this that's very affordable overall and still has this style and how he wears it and it wears well. I think it kind of works, and it's in line with what we're even seeing from fashion in general. So it's not that he just kind of took the piss by wearing something that's not fashionable whatsoever and like, I'm just wearing this basic thing. Like, it looks good, but the fact that it's so understated and also costs so much less than what everybody else's attire cost is campy in its own way and interesting in its own way. Like, I think regardless of how you feel about the look or how he matched the theme or didn't match the theme, there's at least something interesting about Kanye's choices and the larger conversation that they create. And at the end of the day, I think that's all I want from Kanye. Give me things to think about and make life interesting, and he certainly does that. And I still think Kim's outfit looks pretty fucking fire. So that covers the Met Gala. If you have any further questions or anything, let me know. And a side note, which I did get to cover this a few days ago, Kanye West may be returning to Wyoming to create more music. It was Ricky, Kanye's cousin and who works for Good Music. He was talking in a podcast, the Offbeat podcast, about the Wyoming experience and going out there. And he said, yeah, we got to do that again. Aw, shit, I'm talking too much. So do that again. It makes it seem like they're going to go back out to Wyoming to finish the album, which would be pretty awesome. And it kind of, I don't know, might be a weird addendum, but you look at Yeezus coming right after North was born. The Life of Pablo came right around the time Saint was born. You had Baby Shy and Ye not too far off from Baby Shy. And now we're having the 4th child and Yandi, maybe soon, hopefully, or whatever the next album is going to be called, something. And then the last note, I'm going to be interviewing the world famous Tony Williams right here, which is crazy, tomorrow. So in a few hours, actually. I don't know if we're going to be getting any new album information, but we're going to be getting, I don't know, a lot of cool like insights that Tony Williams has. Going to be hearing some new Tony Williams music. So look forward to the Story episode on that, as well as an article in Forbes about Tony Williams music that I'll be writing, Forbes.com. And yeah, I'll be back with another video tomorrow night to maybe go over some of the things that came up during the conversation with Tony or whatever else is going on with Kanye. Until then, stay wavy, keep it loopy, and we shall talk soon. Adios.